I am entering the town of Randsburg, California. Here, let me show you a map real quick. There are about 102 people here. It's a very small town. Might have to get out and take a look on foot, huh? That's what I'm thinking. Let's do a quick drive-through though. Wow, huh? Randsburg is a former gold mining town, a boom town in the late 1800s, 1890 into early 1900s, that is. It's about 1,500 people here then. And many of these structures appear to be the actual structures that existed at the time. You see a lot of these fake old Wild West towns that have buildings that look like this. You know, but they're newly constructed or recently constructed. But no, these are the real thing, folks. That is an actual barber shop, or this is. How about that? Yeah, let's get a look at the side here. See a museum there. Old gas station. Rand Motor Co. Wow, huh? Yeah, it's very quiet right now. It's about 8 in the morning. I looked at the numbers of this town. Wasn't sure what I was going to see. Oh, that's a private home. How about that? I knew that the economy of this town is based on tourism. You can totally see that now. But I have to tell you, this town is far off the beaten path. It's very eccentric, isn't it? Which makes it my kind of town. Here, let me show you a few numbers. Median age here is 70.9. Look at this chart. 100% of the town is aged 50 or older. 77% of the town is 70 or older. I don't have to tell you. This is a pretty old town. Well, no question about it. This is got a very old population. I would guess that all 100 people work in the town, work in all these different businesses, because there are no children here. Here's the ethnic breakdown. 100% white. This is a really cool place, though. So some of the other numbers, there's no median household income. There's none reported by the U.S. Census, but here's the per capita, $18,943 a year. That's $364 a week. That's what each and every person lives on. That is very low, especially for California. Yes, the cost of living, even in this town, well, here it is. It's 115. Whew. California is 140. It's one of the highest in the country. must be pretty tough living here, but with what they have to work with, they've done a fantastic job. This place has a lot of charm. Let's go look at this over here. Looks like an old carriage, straight out of the old Wild West. What's this old truck here? Here's another really interesting demographic. Look at the marriage rate, 100%. So that means the town, population 102, has 51 couples, every one of them married. White House Saloon. Huh. That's just amazing when I'm out on my travels and I find a place like this. I just love it. There's no glass in this window. Yeah, nothing happening in there. Well, so crime, none reported. I would say that's no surprise. Town of 102 people, everybody's going to know each other. And if someone commits a crime, everyone else is going to know it. Wow. It's pretty awesome out here. Yeah. Well, let me give you the median home value. $9,999. That is, I believe, the second lowest I've ever seen. The lowest I've ever seen was on Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota. But wow, less than 10,000 median home value. Makes sense though, doesn't it? Because, you know, with the cost of living so high, you know, the money's that you save to live has got to come from somewhere, and obviously it's housing. Well, let's look around the town, see what else is here. Let's check out some residential, see what we can see. Slow down, be quiet, or we get kicked out of Randsburg. Look at this, city jail. Wow, we have to get out and look at that, don't we? Randsburg, California. Gold was discovered on the slope of Rand Mountain in 1895. From this discovery, the town of Randsburg sprang up almost overnight. By 1899, town had over 3,500 residents. Wow, that's more than what I said. Randsburg boasted a 100 stamp mill, and conservative estimates are that $60 million in gold was taken out of the mines in the area during the town's boom years. Wow. 1895 till 1933, the Yellow Aster mine produced almost $25 million worth of gold at the old gold prices of about $20 per ounce. Wow. The jail and White House Saloon were host to many a miner, cowboy, farmer, Indian, and clamper during the peak of the mining period. So, the jail that they're talking about is right here, it looks like. We can take a look inside. Yeah, it's got 2 cells. Looks like she got stuck in here. What's that say? The dance hall gals were many a miner's best pals, though they lived their life in shame. Oh, he would rant and rave about the money he gave, but he always played their game. Yeah, on this side, got a little sink. Let's see if I can move the camera over there. A little table with some Jim Beam, and a little toilet. Even a little sink. Looks like a little toilet right there too, doesn't it? Lots of fun little shops everywhere. All kinds of cool stuff. There's even some culture. Yeah, they have an opera house. Beautiful old church, Santa Barbara Church, Randsburg, California. One of the residential streets. There's only a couple. It's a town of only 100 people. Huh. Cottage Hotel. Yeah, that's it right there. They do have a little hotel if you want to stay overnight. If you can make your way out here. There's a church. Another one. Randsburg United Methodist Church. It's kind of beautiful, isn't it? All the incredible decay and the rust, faded wood. Yeah, it's beautiful. You can see the town there. Going up into the hills, the mountains. Let's go check out the next town. I am driving into the town of Johannesburg. Yes, it's named after the one in South Africa. Miners who came here to work the mines had previously worked the ones in Johannesburg in South Africa, and so named the town. This town was founded as a support town for Randsburg. This is where a lot of the miners would live. A kind of early suburb or bedroom community, if you will. It's only a mile away, as straight as the crow flies from Randsburg, that last town, but it took 10 minutes to get here because of the fact you have to go around these mountains. Well, here's a map. COVID cure. Interesting. There's about 77 people here. Honestly, it looks a little bigger than that. I think whatever downtown they have is right up here. Doesn't seem to have the charm of the last town, that's for sure. Still a lot of very old structures here. And a DirecTV dish. Yeah, I mean, there's a few things here. Like an old gas station, huh? How about that? Alright, well, let's see what else I can find. Okay, so median age here is 50.1. Now take a look at this demographic chart. Very interesting. 48% of the town is ages 20 to 29. 52% is 50 or older. That is pretty wild. I don't know what that tells us. Adults and their grown children, that's all that live here? I'm not sure. There are no school-age children here, which is very interesting. Here's the ethnic breakdown. 100% Asian. Yeah, that's it. That threw me for a loop. I did not expect that. Poverty, 23.4. School-age children, 0, because there are none. 65 and older, though. Look at this one. 100%. Woo! Well, that won't surprise you when you see the incomes. No median household income again, but per capita, $14,440 a year. That's only $277 a week for everyone that lives here to live on. That's one of the lowest in the country. Yeah, this town is even poorer than the last town. You can definitely see it. No crime reported last year here, just like the last town. Again, very small population. It's probably not a surprise. Median home value, well, there isn't one. But, wow, pretty much all the houses here are valued at $400K or higher. That doesn't seem possible, does it? And you're looking at the houses, the same houses I'm looking at. I don't see anything worth that. But this is California. Yeah, look at the cost of living. Wow. Again, 115. Everything is just really high. I would think that you would keep your homes probably not in great shape on purpose if you lived here, so you could keep your property taxes lower anyway. As you saw that cost of living chart, everything here costs more. Meanwhile, incomes, like I showed you, very, very low. Wow, what an interesting place. All right, I'm a couple miles down the road in Red Mountain, California. Another mining town, former mining town, that is. Couldn't get any numbers from the census on this town. A bit surprised by that. They don't even have paved roads here. I'm just driving through the town right now, just kind of wandering around. You can see the deep ruts in the road. You almost got to have four-wheel drive to drive around here. There's 131 people here. I was able to find the population. And I got a race breakdown. It's 80% white and 14% Hispanic. And the rest is just mixed or other, that kind of thing. Woo! As you drive through the town, you see that it is in the worst shape of all three of them. There's just stuff everywhere here. And this appears to be downtown. This is it. Silver Dollar Saloon. This is pretty cool, but it is closed. Yeah, this is it. And then you're just heading out into the mountains. I am making my way into Barstow, California. This town's economy revolves mainly around the military and transportation. The Army has a base here, Fort Irwin. Basically, they train soldiers combat there. The Marines have a logistical base here in town, and there they basically repair combat equipment. Yeah, those are the number one, number two employers. Number three employer here is the railroad. This town is a major railroad hub. Has an Amtrak station as well. It is also a vehicular hub. 2 interstates run through town, as well as Route 66, which I'm on right now. Around 60 million people a year go through this town. A lot of it is traffic between Los Angeles and Las Vegas, but a lot of people come into town just because they're traveling into California or out of California. They stop here, get some gas, get a couple snacks, maybe use the restroom, because once you head east of this town, it is about 100 miles of open desert. So there's that. I've got something else to show you that's really cool. Let's go check it out. So you're saying to yourselves, hey Joe, where is this place, Barstow? This big transportation hub that so many people drive through. All right, here's a map. You can see where it's at. Here's population history as well. Peak population was last census, 25,415 people. Anyway, you can see there are some train engines here, and you're maybe wondering why. Well, let me show you. So here it is. This is the Harvey House Railroad Depot and Hotel. This was built in 1911. This is considered to be one of the finest examples of this type of building in the entire United States. And it is beautiful, isn't it? This is also the Amtrak station in town. As I said, it is a major rail hub. Whole bunch of tracks right here. You can hear an engine in the distance there. By the way, this is a combination of Spanish Renaissance, which is 15th century Spain, and classical revival architecture. Yeah, this is maybe my favorite train depot in the entire country. They've got a caboose here in the parking lot. Let's see if we can take a look inside. Looks like someone had a couple of beers while they were hanging out. Let's look in the window. Always love to look at the inside of a caboose. Pretty cool, huh? A sight that is seen many times in this town. How awesome is this view of the rail lines? See this guy slowly moving through town here. Beautiful, isn't it? And there's the town right there. They've got some murals here. The town is known for them. So let's go check some of those out. And I'll give you the numbers as I do that. I like this one a lot. Especially like the 3D effect here with the people. That is quite awesome, isn't it? They've got a placard here explaining the mural. It's pretty interesting. 1947 three-wheeled Harley-Davidson service car used by Barstow Police Department. So that's right there. And then, what else I got here? In the center, Frank Sinatra's 1966 Cadillac, which drove through and was repaired in Barstow. And that's right here. The placard also explains who the people are in front. Marilyn Monroe, Frank Sinatra, William Hopalong Cassidy Boyd, Winston Churchill, Mickey Rooney, Victor Mature, and is it Jean Crane? She was born here and nominated for an Oscar. So, yeah. Now it all makes sense, doesn't it? You got Marilyn there, Frank Sinatra, Winston Churchill. Pretty cool, huh? This one is pretty awesome as well. And it has a placard also. See what it says. Old National Trails Highway. When families headed west to California in the early 1920s, they came on the Old National Trails Highway through Barstow. Dusty Rusty, the large rabbit, can be seen in each Main Street mural on Main Street. This was the first mural by the Main Street Murals group and was painted in the 1990s. This mural depicts the robust bootlegging operations that were happening in the desert here around Barstow during Prohibition. Yeah, I like this one a lot. This mural depicts Native Americans, and you can see the rabbit right there on the top of the sign here. The Mojave Indian runners helped get messages and information to far-flung villages. They could run up to 100 miles a day barefoot and only don sandals on very rocky and spiny areas. This mural depicts the southern route of the Mormon Trail, and it's basically just what it sounds like. It's a route that Mormons would take from Utah to Southern California, and it has the entire route painted. See, there's the Nevada-California border, and then the Nevada-Utah border goes all the way to Salt Lake City, and has a picture of the Mormon temple, the one in Salt Lake City. It is the main one for the church. So I still haven't given you any numbers yet, have I? Well, how about I do that as I wind through some of the neighborhoods. Median age here is 33. So a little bit younger than the US, which is 39. Interestingly, there's the high school, right as I said that. Is that someone's house? It's quite the statue, isn't it? $51,811 a year. It's just a shade lower than $1,000 a week. It's not too bad. Cost of living, it's 100, same as the U.S. Transportation's a 124. I guess it's pricey to have a vehicle here. Yeah, I'm just going to show you some of the houses in the neighborhoods. Here's poverty, 23.2 overall. School-age children, 27, 65 and older, 21. It's about twice higher than the rest of the U.S. So I checked crime. Last year, 37 incidents per 1,000 people. That's pretty high. U.S. is 21. I'd read that they have a bit of a crime issue here. I guess they do. I'm driving through this neighborhood because I find it kind of interesting. Definitely cookie cutter. Every house looks the same, even though they're different colors. That's something. I am on the other side of town, and it's real nice here. All right, here's median home value, $222,600. Look how that compares to the state of California, $695,400 for the state. Yeah, so houses here are a lot less expensive. Well, everyone, I am in Needles, California. Going ahead into town. I'm on Route 66, by the way. Town's straight up ahead. I've always wanted to see Needles because I'm a huge Peanuts fan. Used to devour those comics when I was a kid. And if you know anything about Peanuts, you know that Charles Schulz based pretty much everything in the strip, the characters, pretty much everything, on real people and real events. I mean, there was an actual little red-headed girl who spurned him for a local fireman. Anyway, Snoopy had an older brother named Spike. And Spike lived right here in Needles, California. The reason for it is, and this you find out if you read his biography, which I recommend, by the way. The reason for this particular character being in Needles is when Charles Schulz was a young kid, his family up and left St. Paul, Minnesota, and moved here and lived here for a couple of years. And he remembers it quite distinctly because, one, it's super hot here, as opposed to St. Paul, which is not super hot. And anyway, the family's adventures there left a big mark on him as a child, and so yeah, he created a character that lived in Needles. I did a drive-through once before, and I was looking for some sort of confirmation or reference to Spike. I finally found a mural. There it is. There's Spike. The mural has a train there. This town was founded as a railroad camp for the construction workers, and it just grew from there. All right, well, let's see what else we can find here. I'm seeing lots of real cool murals all over town, just like that one. This is a small memorial to World War I, to those who fought in it. Right behind it, this is the I guess it's Garces Hotel and train station. Huge building, built in 1908. I can see it goes way down there. And you see the columns, that's neoclassical architecture, which was unusual in 1908 for this area of the country. That architectural style. Of course, that's ancient Greece and ancient Rome. I'm not sure what the building is being used for. I think it's an Amtrak station now. Still a lot of train activity here. Can you hear that rumbling? There's a couple of engines idling over there. Route 66 right here. See some train tracks on the other side. It's actually a train going by right now. That's that rumbling that you hear. This is Carty's Camp. It's an historic place built in the early 1920s. If you watched the movie The Grapes of Wrath, you may remember this. This is the first spot the family stops at on their, well, right as they cross the border into California. It makes an appearance in the movie. It was a store and cabins that you could stay in. It's been long abandoned. Let's see what we can see over here. I don't know if they have any of the cabins left or not. Right next to it is 66 Motel. This was built 1946. Very small. Only 6 rooms. But it is historic. It is on the National Register. It's famous for the sign. I'll give you a shot of it real quick. We'll take a look at this. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. The sign is over here. Let's get a quick look at it. The famous 66 Motel sign. That'll look real good in my man cave, I have to say. There might be some cabins over here. Left. Let's go look. Yeah, I'm thinking these may have been the cabins that you would stay at. It's right behind the store there. Really bad condition right now. Now, let's see what else we can find here. Let's see, Old Trails Inn, bed and breakfast, it says. Looks like it's been empty for some time, doesn't it? Well, I'm in residential now. Here, let me show you a map. You can see where I'm at. And then population history, 1990 peak population, 5191, down to 4931 last census. Not much of a population loss, a little bit. Median age is 50. Here's the ethnic breakdown. 55% white, 30% Hispanic, 7% Native American, 5% black, 1% Asian, rest mixed or other. It's pretty diverse. The town is named after some mountains that are nearby. I drove past them. That's a good name for them. Very jagged. Really beautiful. I think we can all see what that is. That's right. Cat sighting. Let me give you median household income. $39,876 a year. That's pretty low. Really low for California. Look at the state, it's $96,334. Yeah, incomes here are a lot lower. Poverty, 29.1 overall. For children, it's 32. Those numbers about twice higher than the U.S. 65 and older, it's 14 though. Those numbers are actually pretty good. Venezuela's Cafe. Wonder if it's still open. Cost of living here is quite low. Here it is. It's an 81. You do see some abandoned homes here. Crime last year, 33 incidents per 1,000. USA is 21. Yeah, crime here is a little on the high side. You look down the street. Median home value here, $134,400. Look at it compared to California, $695,400 for the state. Lots of really nice murals here. Needles is situated along the Colorado River. This is it right here. It is also the border of California and Arizona. So that's Arizona on the other side. It being the middle of winter, the water levels are actually quite low. In the spring and the summer, early summer, the water it'll be much higher. As the snow runoff makes its way down here. It's kind of beautiful here, isn't it? Check it out, everyone. I'm wearing my new miner's hat. It seemed appropriate because of all the old mining towns that we've been visiting. Anyway, up next, Nicole and I are going to visit a place that's been on my travel bucket list since I was probably a teenager. And that is Death Valley. Death Valley, California. We are heading there next, so hang tight, and we will see you there. We are at Death Valley National Park. Of course, we had to stop at the sign to get our obligatory picture. A picture of Nicole for her Instagram, which will be linked down below. This has been on my travel bucket list since I was a kid, I want to say.
Oh, really?
Yeah, since I was a kid, I've always wanted to go to Death Valley. So here we are, finally. All right.
Homeland of the
Timbisha Shoshone tribe, yes. All right, so
I said it correctly.
yeah, so let's get that picture and head on in. Let me show you what it looks like around real quick first.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome. And somebody else is coming up to take their picture. So let's get your picture and get on in there.
Okay.
Check it out.
All right.
Okay. So are you guys ready to see the actual Death Valley?
Well, I am.
There it is. What a spectacular view from up here. Now, that is Badwater Basin. That is 282 feet below sea level. We are at about 5,500 feet up, looking out over it. Yeah, that is the actual Death Valley. The park covers a lot of area, not just the actual Death Valley. We will actually be going down there before this trip is over, before this video is over. But we had to come up here and see what it looks like.
Yes. Get these sweeping views.
Yeah. Of course, this is also Tatooine. Yeah, Mos Eisley is right here. It is from this very spot where Luke and Obi-Wan looked out over Mos Eisley Spaceport. And Obi-Wan said his famous saying, "You'll never find a more villainous hive." No, what was it? You're never
asking me.
a hive of scum and villainy. Anyway, those of you who've watched Star Wars, you remember the scene. Yeah, this is it. This is where George Lucas shot that scene. The geek in me couldn't wait to get here. The Star Wars geek. One of the signs they have posted, heat kills. Drink plenty of water. Not getting in the heat. This is the hottest place on Earth. So I guess it makes sense. We're at Zabriskie Point. The Badlands of Death Valley. That is amazing looking, that's all I can say.
Yes.
We are at Furnace Creek, California, in Death Valley. We're 190 feet below sea level, as you can see. This is the hottest place in the world.
Not today, though.
The hottest town.
45 degrees
Yeah. Yeah, if you come in January, it's a lot cooler. The hottest temperature ever recorded in history was here in this town. 134 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow.
That's 57 Celsius for those of you in the rest of the world. So, let's take a look around at this place.
I want to stay here.
As you can see, it is quite lovely.
Yes, it is.
These are cottages. Is this where people live?
I'm sure they're rental, silly.
Well, I mean, yeah, you've got to rent them to live. 134 people live here. It's, wow, really nice. Here's the town's post office. The town has an old locomotive on display. It's pretty nifty, huh? They've got a collection of old horse-pulled carriages here. And they look like they might be the real deal. This is Furnace Creek's town hall. It looks real nice too, doesn't it?
It does. It's a cute little town.
Yeah. This is not a rundown town at all. It's very nice.
No.
We're at the Harmony Borax Works. There was a frenzied search for gold and silver here. And there you can see the valley floor of Death Valley right there. Anyway, gold and silver was never found, but they did find borax.
It was the gold of the desert.
That's right, the white gold of the desert.
That's what they called it.
And that's how some people got rich. Borax is basically used for cleaning supplies and pest control.
20 mule teams. For more than a century, the 20 mule team has been the symbol of the borax industry, on product labels, in history books, and on television. The status is well earned. Mule teams help solve the most difficult tasks that face Death Valley borax operators. Getting the product to market. Apparently it was very expensive.
Yeah. See the team pulling the cart there?
Shall we count out all 20 of them? Or are we just going to take their word for it?
Let's take the word for it. Yeah, and here's one of the actual ones still in existence. This area is on the National Register, by the way. We're at the Devil's Golf Course, so called because only the devil could play golf here. These are salt crystal formations.
Oh.
Nicole's going to taste, see if it tastes salty.
Why, because you're too chicken to do it?
I did it. You know, you do it.
All right. I don't know if I got...
Tastes like salt, doesn't it? I did it
I don't
earlier.
taste anything.
Well, I tasted salt.
All right, now there's something in my finger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can taste salt.
Yeah. Man, can you imagine being someone in the mid-1800s who just got here on your horse and your wagon?
You are
Yeah.
SOL.
You come up to these and you're like, okay, we're screwed.
Exactly.
We're not crossing this.
Nope.
So we're here, the bottom of the U.S. Badwater Basin, 282 feet, 855 meters below sea level. A place I've always wanted to see. The water's called bad water because
It's bad for you.
yeah, it's not drinkable. It's not usable for humans. But there is life here. Some plants that live alongside of it, and some insects, and a particular snail lives in the water. It's surprisingly clear. It is really amazing. The beginning of the video, we were up there looking down. And here we are finally at the bottom.
I was tempted to make you come down the hard way, but yeah.
We would have to fly down or tumble down. What an amazing thing to see. Never thought I would see this in my lifetime.
It is gorgeous. Gorgeous.
It's like an alien planet. It is. Wow. All right. All right, everyone. So that's going to be it for here. We're going to head back to Dallas for a few days. And then, as is usual in the winter, we stay in the southern third of the U.S. if we can.
It's our version of being snowbirds.
Yes. So we're going to head to Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, maybe Florida. And then after that, we'll start heading up a little bit farther north. All right. So that's all coming up next. We will see you guys in those places.